First things first, I gotta fix a boo-boo. Hope the rim ain't damaged. Anyways, can't move hay unless this thing's fixed. This baler that I'm hitching up is a New Holland 565. It's a newer purchase. The reason I got it was because it has a hydraulic tensioner for the bale chute. And there was a troubled problem that we had early June with the PTO shaft. With the help of the New Holland parts, there were pieces that were available to fix the drive on the PTO shaft. Okay, at this point, the baler's doing really good. It's June, and I got my cousin. He's helping me. The Hoelscher was not hooked up yet, and everything was doing great. It just happened just right soon after this tie, the drive shaft came out. This baler is considered more of smaller use of like the windrow size. And here in Indiana, our first cutting, our windrows could be 3 feet tall and 5-6 feet wide, depending on how your rake setup is. And after that, the third cutting can be, 2 feet tall and 3 feet wide or 4 feet. And this is a good baler. It makes excellent bales. As you can see, the drive shaft is not hooked up. I'm trying to figure out all the pieces that I need and what has been broken. This is the other part of the shaft right here. There's 2 dogs that are in there. They're pins. One was broken to begin with. It's not coming out. And I'm gonna have to have a machine shop fix that, or if it can't be fixed, I'm gonna end up having to buy this whole yoke and drive. So that's what I'm working on right now, real quickly, finding out more things that need to be done. Okay, what I wound up doing is drilling a hole in the back side of that PTO drive where the pin dogs are, and put some penetrant oil in there and then knocked that thing out. The spring was done. It was locked up in there. And then I took a tap and cleaned that little hole up in there, probably 3/32 of an inch, maybe a little bigger. And then put that brass screw in there with some silicone and tightened it up. And it was good to go. Okay, it's October, and the drive shaft has been fixed. Had to have a new thrust washer, had to have a custom-made bolt, needed to be a little bit longer. The original one was not long enough. And it also needed the 2 dogs or pins and springs. This is an alfalfa orchard Timothy grass mix. The tractor caught fire last August, didn't have a chance to bale hay. It's a little taller and older hay, but I am feeding it now. Do want to add that custom-made bolt that went into the PTO drive. I did put a lot of Loctite on there. Checking the machine out, getting ready to grease all the fittings. There's probably, There's over a dozen grease zerks that need to have greasing done to them, and checking over all the nuts and bolts and making sure that everything's tight and right and ready to go.
Is it getting closer, or just... There's a bearing right there in the back. It greases that sleeve. This bearing, there's no grease that goes in it, if I remember right. I'm trying to get this up so I can get to it. Keeps going. Well, it's back a little bit. It's right there. See that line? It goes back in there. There it is. Right there. This has no grease in it. It's a sealed bearing. Good check-in, babies, though. Good zerk.
I finished this field in approximately 3.5 hours, and I felt pretty good about it. It made 490 bales. And on the next day, started another field, and the hydraulic hose that goes to the Hoelscher 1000 busted. It was a 3/4 inch hose. Now, it's old, and luckily a local auto parts store open on a Sunday had one 26 feet long.